Hey guys, so we're gonna do this reading review vlog just a little bit different today, mainly because I literally lost all the footage for this video. My bad, but I still wanted to make it, so that's what we're doing today. I'm gonna go through each book and just review them based on my opinions, literally my opinions, okay? Just my opinions, all right? And how I feel. So, let's go. Let's do it. Right. This is the Bridgerton reading vlog. I don't remember if I said that. But anyways. Alright, so look. I absolutely love Daphne and Simon. Those characters are the cutest I've ever seen, and honestly, like, out of all the books, this is the one I feel like the author, Julia Quinn, she spent the most time on this one. It really comes across in the way it's written, how the characters are crafted, and just the entire vibe is fire. Like, I love it. I love it so much. There's not much to say, to be honest, because, like, I love all of it. It's my favorite. Definitely. I like the fake dating trope, the slow burn, just everything about it. Everything phenomenal. 5 out of 5. I have nothing negative to say. Alright, so I love the enemies to lovers trope the most. And the Viscount Who Loved Me, like, this is no exception. I love Kate's whole vibe and how she hates Anthony for his, like, rakish ways. It's just so funny, and the dynamic between the two is amazing. Like, her visceral hatred for him just made me love the story, like, even better. Everything about it. It's just wonderful, like, that whole thing. And also, I love the focus on the father, like, the father Bridgerton, like, the guy who came before. His father, and how that affected him being the oldest and carrying the weight of all that. Like, it's so deep, it's so sad, it's so, like, heartbreaking. The whole philosophy he has in the beginning of wanting to follow in his father's footsteps and, like, die before a certain age, that was so fucked. That was so fucked up, but I mean, it makes sense, right? I really loved every moment of him sorting through his trauma regarding all that, and Kate being there for him to, like, help him overcome it. That was beautiful. Like, wow. Okay, this is just a slight critique, okay? I do feel like Kate's hatred towards him was just hugely unwarranted. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one, but, like, I understand the time period, but it came off as, like, really slut-shamey, in my opinion. I don't know, that just bothered me, like, a lot, to be honest. But again, I understand why. Like, she's the protective older sister and whatnot, so I get it. Just sometimes it felt forced, and I think it was intentional. Like, when you secretly have a crush on someone in, like, middle school, but you pretend to hate them because, like, you're childish. That's kind of how that came off in the book. I'm sorry, Kate. The show was so much better, though. It was much better in that regard, just in my opinion, because in the show, she came off more protective of her sister than childish. The books just really felt childish in how that entire thing was conveyed. That's my only critique. It was great otherwise, though. I feel like 4 out of 5 stars, maybe. Most definitely. Okay, I need to preface this with saying, out of all the Bridgerton siblings, like, all of them, Benedict is my number one. Like, bro, oh my god, he's so relatable, he's goofy, he's a freaking gentleman, he's quirky, he's an artist, he's a visionary. I adore this character. I adore him in every sense of the word, okay? That being said, his love story is my least favorite. I hate it. The Cinderella story is overplayed and overdone, like, everywhere, and I do like the Bridgerton twist to it, but it was literally just a Cinderella story at the end of the day, and to me, it was, like, severely lacking originality. This is my least out of, like the one I like the least, like, my least favorite out of all of them, and that breaks my heart because I freaking love Benedict. I do like Sophie as well. But she came off as just a bit of a damsel in distress in some ways, and I really don't like that trope, like, at all. So this one was really lacking compared to the rest of the books. Again, okay, this is just my opinion. I have to give it 2 out of 5 stars. I'm so heartbroken. Anyway, I'm sad. I wanted to love it, okay, because I love Benedict. But anyway, we gotta move on. Penelope is, like, so freaking cute. And Colin is so freaking adorable. And I relate so much to both of them. I love the dynamic. I love the friends to lovers moment. Like, it was just so wholesome and cute and sweet, like, from start to finish. Like, amazing. The only critique I have is that I wish Penelope hadn't literally begged him for a kiss. Like, what? That made me cringe so bad. Like, it's just not it. It's not a vibe, and I'm not here for that. I pray the show is different, honestly, but we'll just have to wait and see about that. Listen, I've always preferred the type of stories where men chase the woman and idolize and idealize the girl. Like, that's just what I prefer. As an author myself, though, I know that it's got something to do with her character arc, from being, like, quiet, kind, insecure wallflower in front of the whole ton to then becoming Mrs. Bridgerton, but I just don't really like the fact that her becoming more confident stemmed mainly from her connection to a man. I get it, the time period, and I'm trying to make allowances for that. It just gives me the ick. And it's definitely, like, the type of character arc that's just not for me, and that's fine. I do love these characters regardless. Like, I love them as people, I love them individually, and I relate to both of them in lots of ways, so I do appreciate this one. Definitely, I prefer it over Offer from a Gentleman. This is 3 out of 5 stars. Y'all, I love Eloise. I love how she's so independent and intelligent, and I was so excited and, like, interested to see how her love story was gonna be. I like how different this one was. It felt original, and it also overlapped with Penelope's story as well, which I found amazing. The opening, when we learn about, like, Sir Philip's first wife and how she was overcome with melancholy, was so relatable, right? Okay, recovered sad girl here. Hi. But it also made me cry, like, because it's so sad, like, God, why? But anyway, yeah, and then Eloise having to come to terms with the fact that Penelope was, like, moving into a new stage of life, and she felt like she was being left behind. I could relate to that as well. Like, Eloise, she has such high standards and expectations for her husband, and she didn't want to settle, and I relate to her on that, and I admire it so much. It's so relatable. But anyway, I love the dynamic between her and the children, honestly. It was so cute, it was so adorable, and the entire situation was, like, more than just her leaving to meet a guy. Like, the subplot with the kids and how they were always just up to mischief and clownery, and how she protects them, just it's beautiful. 4 out of 5 stars. I love it so much. Y'all, we barely ever see Francesca, just in general. Like, as a matter of fact, like, I literally forgot she existed until I read this book. Her story overlaps with a few of the others because she was actually married relatively early, but her husband died, and that's such a common thing in those days. And I'm so glad that, like, Julia Quinn actually made that a focus for one of the Bridgerton siblings. Like, it just feels really, you know, there's a sense of realism to it, and I really like that. I also feel like this one is really nice because it's a somewhat of a more modern take, in my opinion. Like, she wasn't a virgin, and she seemed much more, like, empowered and comfortable in her sexuality than typically most women in this time period were, so I really appreciated that, like, a lot. This one was probably the most sex positive out of all of them, and, like, it's great. What was kind of annoying to me was the whole idea of Michael being a rake. Like, we've seen this before with the Viscount, so it was just a bit repetitive. I understand the reasoning for it. I mean, it's called When He Was Wicked, right? So I get it. I give this one 4 out of 5 stars because the beginning made me cry, and how Michael struggled with his worthiness and physical health really throughout the book was, like, really impactful and deep, and I like that. The characters felt really real. Like, these characters felt the most real to me, and their struggles and whatnot, like, it felt the most real. Like, this could really happen in those days, you know? So yeah, I appreciated that one. Y'all, Hyacinth is so headstrong. She's adorable. She's the youngest of all the Bridgertons, and I really love that we got to see a lot more of Mrs. Danbury in this one, because although she's somewhat of a main maternal figure in the show, we barely ever really see her in the books, so I really am looking forward to seeing those characters and their dynamic and how that plays out in the show. Like, honestly, I'm excited for that. But anyway, in the book, it's just so endearing, you know, and Hyacinth is so sweet and cute. But she also has a sense of adventure. I love the mystery element as well. I really feel like this story in particular was original, like really original with how the whole thing kind of played out. I don't want to get too much into it, but like the whole discrepancy about the illegitimate son having to be married off and all, like that was really interesting. And there were lots of twists and turns, which was pretty entertaining, to be honest. I like it. That being said, my favorite part actually happened after the story was over. Like, it happened in the epilogue. It was just a little bit boring and didn't hold my attention that much, but like I was kind of finding myself rereading certain parts, so it was a little bit boring at times, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. This one gets 3 out of 5, mainly because of Ms. Danbury, okay? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love Mrs. Danbury, like, okay, like, maybe I'm just biased, but anyway, I love this one because of the stakes, right? The stakes were high. Gregory is adorable and like such a romantic, like he's seriously giving 7 Jungkook vibes the entire book, and I'm here for it. Like I said before, I love stories where the male lead is constantly trying to get the girl's attention, like idolizing her, healthily obsessed. Like, it's just the cutest trope I've ever seen in media and literature. Even though like it's kind of more of a Taylor Swift type of like You Belong With Me type of vibe towards like the halfway point in the book, I still love it. Women should be the ones being admired and pursued. Like, that's always been my favorite kind of story. Also, the betrayal, the mutiny, just all of that. And then like the I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil anything, but it was great. I love the entire vibe of this book. I can't even argue about it. So yeah, this one is 5 out of 5. So yeah, that was the review. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite Bridgerton book is and who your favorite characters are and why. Like, let's just have like a discussion. Let's have a conversation about it in the comments. I'm really excited to see your responses and what you think. This video turned out to be a bit longer than I expected, so I'll have to make a part 2 for my tier list. I did actually already film that video. I meant to upload this is so annoying. I meant to upload my vlog like literally at the beginning of the year, around the time I finished all the books, but I mean, you know, life happened. I didn't have time to, so and then I lost all the footage, so that's great. But I hope you like this video anyway. I'm gonna upload the second video in the coming days, so just keep a lookout for that one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get going now. Let's talk about Bridgerton in the comments. Like, are y'all excited for the next season? I'm so excited. I literally can't wait. But anyway, okay, see you guys later. Bye.